Hello and welcome back to Hungry Talks episode 2. I'm your host Anna.
And I'm your other host Asha. Before we start tonight's episode, RMIT University want to acknowledge the people of the Woiwurrung and Boonwurrung language groups of the Eastern Kulin Nation, on whose unceded lands we conduct the business of the university.
RMIT and Hungry Talks respectfully acknowledges their ancestors and elders, past, present and emerging.
So this week we've got some fan art that we want to show you. On the bottom of the screen here we have fan art from Stefan. It's beautiful cube collage. We've got some more from
my personal favourite.
Yeah, from Ben. This one's
thank you, Ben.
The top of the
saying our favourite catchphrase. We're so hungry.
And from a Miller, this one is slapped together, but it's beautiful minimalist.
I love the colours.
Design.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
So yeah, thanks again, guys, for the lovely fan art. We will cherish these forever.
Guys, these just blew us away. What incredible masterpieces. They're going straight to the full room. Now, onto some more amazing art. We want to present our very first Scamp Champ. So, Charlie, thanks for sending in your response to the McPlant quick brief. It's really convincing, but I never really planned on eating Big Bird personally.
Very compelling argument, but I personally probably would eat Big Bird. I reckon there'd be a couple good nuggets in that one and probably a couple really good McChickens. So yeah, I could be persuaded to eat old mate. Anyway, onwards and upwards. It's time for our ad of the week.
I've got an idea for a Heinz ketchup commercial. I was at this super posh restaurant, super posh. The type of place that has chandeliers and paintings on the wall and way too many forks. I think classical music was playing, but maybe it was jazz. No, definitely classical. The hostess walks up to me and she said, "Mr. Sheeran, is this your first time dining with us?" And I say, "Yep." The waiter comes over, he's telling me about the specials. Super fancy vegetables, fancy sauces. I said, "Sounds fancy." So fast forward and the food comes. The waiter goes on to tell me, "We are proud to present this farm to table blah blah blah, posh and fancy blah blah blah, with a side of blah blah blah." You know, the food looked good. I just thought there was something missing. So I reach into my bag and I take out the only thing that can complete me. And at that point, the whole world came to a stop. And the waiter was screaming through his eyes. So that's my idea. Do you want to do it?
I love the storytelling aspect of this ad, and as a fellow tomato sauce enthusiast, I really resonate and identify with Ed's passion for this specific condiment. The execution is casual, but it comes across as authentic, which I think is really a credit to Heinz.
Just the fact that Ed Sheeran came up with the idea for this is, it's fabulous. It's really cute and it's really funny without being too ridiculous.
So now we're super excited to show you what we have in store for this week. But firstly, let's show you our sponsor, Apple iPod. Apple, thank you so much for supporting this episode. And this iPod is courtesy of John. Guys, remember to clean out the cupboards and have a look for some 2000s items and send them in to feature on an episode. So this week we're joined by the one and only Mark Ritson. Mark Ritson is one of the best in the game when it comes to strategy.
Welcome.
Hello ladies, how are we?
Good, how are you?
Good, very good. I'm delighted to be with you.
Gorgeous. Great, so.
With a PhD in marketing and over 25 years of industry experience, he has worked with brands ranging from Sephora to Subaru. For 13 years, he served as the in-house brand consultant for the world's largest luxury group, working in Paris with senior executives for brands like Louis Vuitton, Dom Perignon, and Hennessy. Nowadays, he runs his own MBA, which in his own words, won a shit ton of prizes. Welcome to the show again, Mark.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're going to start off. This week, we're taking a closer look at strategy. So Mark, how would you define strategy within the marketing and advertising world?
Well, I think the first thing to recognize is the difference between strategy and tactics. So Strategy is the plan, very simply, and then tactics are the execution that delivers that plan. So normally when we look at marketing strategy, what we're talking about are the decisions and choices we make before we get to the tactics of marketing, which of course, communications, pricing, even products sometimes. And normally that centers on answering three questions. Who are we targeting? What's the position? And what are the objectives behind the work? And if we can get those three questions answered, we're in a very good place to then move into execution next.
Great. Yeah, that makes sense. So what would you do when a client comes to you with more of a tactical approach instead of a strategy-based plan? How do you get them to shift their thinking?
And they usually do, Asha. That's normally what happens, right? So most clients are unfortunately very tactical in focus, and they don't know how to do strategy. So it's a tricky one. Your biggest objective is to try and move them backwards through the process in a polite, reassuring manner. And you ask them questions like, this is a fantastic piece of Instagram advertising, whatever the hell you're doing. But who are you targeting specifically here? And what's the positioning message we're trying to get across? And what are the objectives of the work? So you're trying to take them backwards into a strategy that almost certainly doesn't exist. But if we can get them back there, we can do a little bit of work and then go forward again and review the work. I mean, there's no way to assess creative work without having strategy first isolated, because, you know, it's like the old question, what's the best way of measuring anything? Well, the best way is to find out what the objective was in the first place and then see if we achieved it or not.
Awesome. You talk a lot about the long and short of marketing strategies. Can you briefly explain what that is for our viewers?
Yeah, so it's the work of two very famous advertising theorists in the UK called Peter Field and Les Binet, and they've studied thousands of advertising campaigns, and they believe that the way that most campaigns, not all, but most campaigns work best is if they split their money and do two very different things within an annual execution plan. Around about half, although it depends, of your money should go on brand building. That would be top of funnel. It should be more emotional, should be focused obviously on the brand. And the goal there is to drive salience and awareness and what the brand stands for. The other approximate half of your campaign is then split up and is attempting to do performance marketing or activation. That stuff should be obviously based on the product. It's about driving bottom of funnel, tends to be more rational. And maybe most interestingly is more targeted. The brand stuff, the long of it, if you have the money, is best off being done to the whole market. Whereas I believe the performance stuff is best off targeted to specific segments. And if you look at the best work that's out there in Australia at the moment, most of it, not all of it, but most of it follows that precept of, I'm going to put some of money into long-term brand building and some of it into shorter-term activation.
Cool. Yeah, so the long is, you know, long-term kind of building your brand and the love for the brand, and then the short is like selling a product and the more short-term kind of goals.
Yeah, and people often say, well, why don't we try and do both at the same time? And the answer is it doesn't work as well. So there's a lot of differences in those two things. So rather than doing an ad that promotes RMIT and also specifically promotes signing up for a media degree, RMIT is much better promoting the brand elsewhere to everyone and then targeting specific people for the media course and why they should sign up. And we got plenty of data to show that.
Yeah, that makes plenty of sense. So for those of you who don't know, Mark challenged YouTube for not selling themselves very well. This resulted in them challenging him to just do that. So, Mark, in the series you created for YouTube, you talked about it being a great platform for building both the long and the short. In your opinion, are there any other platforms that do this too?
Yeah, it's a great question. Look, YouTube's the best. From the research, YouTube and digital video is the best medium for actually achieving both with reasonable amounts of money. Typically, what happens when you look at all the different advertising media is they either have a strength at longer term brand building. We could take outdoor, TV as examples, or they're much better at shorter term activation. And here we could take, of course, things like Facebook and LinkedIn, digital display, etc. So it's fair to say that the data that exists suggests that digital video, and particularly YouTube, is very rare in the sense that it does both equally well. The catch being, you don't want to try and do brand building and product promotion in the same YouTube ad, because they require different things. So just because the media can do it doesn't mean you should try and cram them both in there. And that was the point of the YouTube work, was trying to encourage clients to use YouTube, but to use it very differently for long and short purposes. And that, as you say, that came out of me feeding back to YouTube that I felt that not YouTube, but the clients weren't particularly impressive with how they were using it. And YouTube quite correctly telling me to go F myself and explain what how could we make the clients do it better. And I was kind of out on a limb to then do that. So that's what we did, and I think it worked very well.
Yeah, that's cool. Did it start? So it started off a bit of a rocky relationship with YouTube before you kind of worked together and made the series?
Yeah, they weren't happy. So, I mean, they're nice people, but they said, well, how was the judging? And I said, oh, it was pretty shithouse, actually. I wasn't that impressed. I thought it would be better. And they were sort of like, pissed off that I said that in a way. But it ends up in a nice place, you know what I mean? I mean, it ends up with me having to do loads of work for free, which YouTube are very happy about. And it serves me right for not just going, it's been great, they're fantastic, it serves me right.
Yeah, so you talked about people kind of going towards Facebook, and obviously Facebook ads have become really popular as they're cheap and accessible to everyone. If you haven't got the money for research, what should a brand do that's more valuable than just creating a Facebook ad?
Yeah, I mean, there's two things. Research doesn't need to cost any money. In fact, I'm often struck when I work with companies that don't have a research budget at how superior their insights are. Research is getting your ass out of your office and hanging out with customers. And in the case of, of marketing students, it's realizing that it doesn't start with coming up with an idea for an ad. So research is getting your ass out among the customers, watching them, looking at them purchase, looking at them using, and that should be a third of your focus if you know what you're doing. And then even then, after you've done your research, you don't jump straight to tactics. Then back to this strategy point. You need to answer those three strategic questions. And only then can you then approach that final point, which is, do I want a Facebook ad? And is that the right medium for what I'm trying to do? I mean, you have to remember as well that the whole concept of digital marketing makes no sense. It's one of the biggest loads of nonsense in the history of our field, and we've had a lot of nonsense, and yet we still spout it all the time. Let me give you two a challenge to illustrate the point. I think when we talk about digital marketing, we're aware that it's, Facebook and so on. But I wonder if you could give me an example of a medium that is in the traditional box that isn't digital. What would you say?
Oh, I don't know.
Billboard?
Yeah, possibly a billboard.
Billboards?
Posters? No.
Well, no, you would unfortunately be wrong there. If we walk around Melbourne, around 80% of the billboards in Melbourne are digitally delivered, and they're actually now, potentially going to be sold programmatically if they can manage it. So you can't have billboards. So come on, you two are on the cusp of things. You're involved in digital. Give me another one. You've got to give me a medium that's traditional and not digital.
Newspaper, but
magazines.
I don't think I've ever bought a newspaper in my life. A lot of them are digital as well now.
True.
Every newspaper that's profitable, starting with News Corp, is fundamentally now a digital business. The print versions are a fraction of their business. So the point is, we could do that all day long.
Yeah.
There isn't any non-digital media or marketing options anymore, which prompts the question, why do we talk about it at at all. They're just marketing and media options. If you see, I mean, digital means nothing. It's become like air or drinking water. The only reason you'd notice it is it isn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, beautiful. Well, moving forward, what would you say, is there a benefit to researching creative ideas, and would this help give an agency insight into how to improve, or would it just kill the vision?
Ooh, again, a great question, and there's no perfect answer. I adopt the approach that I've learned from the CMOs I've worked with that are very successful, and they all say the same thing, which is we do our research up front to understand the problem, to drive our strategy. Then we brief our creative agencies, and at that point, we trust the agencies to deliver the goods. So they usually don't believe in testing or pre-testing the work. The research is done up front, and then if the agency believes it's going to work, they trust their agency. Now, there is a completely alternative philosophy that says you should do research and you can test the advertising creative. I think that's entirely appropriate, but I side with those that say once we get to the point of idea generation, trust the agencies you've picked and the brief you've given them and go with the process.
All right. Awesome. Also, with so many changes happening right now, what do you think the biggest challenge for marketing a new brand would be going into the future?
Well, there's probably two. The first one is the recession, which, will one way or another will affect us for the next couple of years. It's a peculiar recession, and we're not used to them in Australia. We haven't really experienced them for a very long time, thanks to our friends in China. So we're going to experience significant squeezes on household income, and meantime, all the prices are still going to be going up. So it's a peculiar combination of up and down. And for small brands, that makes life incredibly tricky. But look, that's only a problem for the next couple of years. We will eventually, I hope, get through it. The big problem for small brands is that they're small, and that's the biggest disadvantage that brands face. So lots of research has been done on what makes advertising successful. And the number one driver of advertising success is you're a big brand, and you're already big. You already have existing share of shelf and share of mind. So if you're a small brand, you're kind of screwed from the beginning because capitalism and marketing isn't fair. There's a natural advantage to big brands.
Okay, amazing. And finally, what should tomorrow's marketing and ad professionals be doing to prepare and adapt to the changing conditions of the industry?
Oh, look, I think staying curious. I was trained by a lot of old men and old women many years ago who beat into me the idea that if you're not curious about everything, you're not really any good at marketing. So it's a really interesting thing. It's very easy to stay on your phone. It's very easy not to go out and if you're on a business trip to visit, and walk around the streets and just observe what's going on. I think the fundamental core to good marketing is curiosity. And that doesn't mean looking shit up on your phone. Do you know what I mean? I think that's where where you'll see the great marketers will always, they just can't resist getting into things and snooping around. And that's the great curiosity, I think, is the great push that keeps, good marketers good.
Yeah, perfect. Well, Hungry Talks' little tagline is inspiration for curious minds, so hopefully we can facilitate that. Moving forward, so with the democratization of communication, anyone can create content these days, and it's tough to tell what's real and what's fake. So we're introducing a game we're very uncreatively titled Real or Fake. It's super simple. We'll name a weird and wacky product, and you, Mark, just tell us whether you think it's a real or fake product.
And for those of you at home, head on over to the Hungry Talks Instagram stories to join on in.
Alrighty, so question 1, we have Archie McPhee Instant Undies Just Add Water. Are these a real or a fake product?
Well, it sounds like something I could use occasionally on the road, so I'm going to say real.
Correct, that one is a real product.
Yeah.
So, Peroni dog beer. Are we getting on the sauce with our furry friends, or is this a fake product?
Well, as an owner of dogs, I have several of them floating around here at the moment. I know you can't feed your dogs beer, so that must be fake.
It's actually a real thing.
I'm shocked.
Now, pedigree dog soft drink. Are we getting on the sauce with our dogs, but just slightly more responsibly? Dog soft drink, real or fake?
Now you know. Now you can feed them beer. I mean, why would you bother with soft drinks? So I'm going to say that one's a fake.
Yeah, you're correct. That one is a fake product.
So next up is a candle that smells like Chris Hemsworth's farts. Do people sniff this in real life, or is it just in their dreams?
I mean, Gwyneth obviously's got one that smells like whatever the polite word is, and that's sold very well. And I know I've seen the effect that young Mr. Hemsworth has on young women and indeed young men sometimes as well. So, would this? Now I'm going with fake.
Sadly, no. There is no Chris Hemsworth fart candle.
Now you're one step ahead of us, but question number 5: Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina-scented candle. Are people out here buying this candle for real?
For sure, it's actually a best-selling product, and yeah, I mean, I've actually my wife got one once upon a time, and I have to tell you, it smelled pretty. I'd say pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty
well,
good.
Maybe we might have to get
Might
one.
have to invest.
We'll put it on
One for the studio.
We've got this candle, but it's definitely not.
I recommend This Smells Like My Vagina candle. It's one of my
Fantastic.
tips. Go.
Yep, we'll go get one. So yeah, correct,
Amazing.
real product. Tesla electric scooters. Are people going to be jumping on and off shared Tesla scooters after a drunken night out?
It sounds good, but I don't believe Elon Musk would get distracted by this, given he's got bigger jobs to do. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, and it's not quite a real product yet, that one.
So Lester's ranch dressing soda. What would this even taste like? Ugh. Real or fake?
Never underestimate the complete ability of Americans to eat and drink any old piss. So I'd say that's probably true.
Unfortunately, that one is real.
Yeah.
So Ben and Jerry's / Charlie D'Amelio ice cream. Has this collaboration happened, or is it all fake?
As an old person, I have no idea who Charlie D'Amelio is, but it sounds
She's a
frighteningly
TikToker.
real. So I'm going to go yes. It's a real flavour.
Well, it's yet to be a real thing. So no, it's not real.
So we've got sneakers that get more colourful the more you wear them. Is this product on the market or all made up?
Look, I mean, if it's possible, it sounds like a winner. So I'm going to say real.
Yeah, correct. So Jimmy Fallon partnered with Mischief to create these shoes. They're pretty cool. I kind of wouldn't mind
Yeah, I
some.
kind of want some too.
Yeah.
Same. So the iPotty. Is the iPad holder for potty time real or fake?
I'd go with real. It sounds a pretty good idea.
Unfortunately, this one is a real product.
Yeah. It's just
Look at that.
disgusting. Question 11, our last question, is a TikTok dating app. Has TikTok come out with a new app specifically designed to connect content creators romantically?
It's not a bad idea. I'm going to go fake, though, because TikTok doesn't have time for dating.
Yeah. So yeah, that one, there's no TikTok dating app, but we did find some dating apps on our searches. And yeah, so they're TikTok inspired and like really video focused, but not from TikTok themselves. Yeah. Anyway, that wraps our game segment. Thank you for playing. You did a really good job.
In one moment, we're going to get Mark to quickly explain this week's quick brief.
All right, so Mark, can you just give us a very brief summary of the task and some tips on how you would approach a brief like this?
Yeah, so I wanted to find something that was live and that was useful, and that the client would actually be using themselves. So Mark Harris has a very famous podcast in Australia. It's the #1 listened to Australian sports podcast. and he's got a pretty decent budget now to promote that podcast around Australia. And so what we're trying to promote here, or shall I read you exactly? I asked Mark to fill it all out. Shall I read it out to you directly, or what shall I do?
Up to you. Quick summary of it's all good. I don't think the students have seen the brief yet, so.
Okay. So they'll get to see it all, will they, later on?
Yeah, they'll be able to see it in a post soon.
All right. So Mark Howie's podcast is the most famous podcast in Australia for sport. He's got this lovely budget, up to $1 million, we could say, to promote the podcast, to essentially do one big job, one big objective, which is to recruit as many new listeners to the podcast as possible. He believes the listeners he's got are pretty loyal, but he wants to spur the interest of essentially new listeners and get them to listen. And the positioning of Howie's podcast, which is called the Howie Games, is really all about being positive, emotional, in-depth, the inside story of sport. So we're looking for some really good solutions. And Howie I'll talk to him about the proposed solutions once you submit them.
Cool. And did you have some tips, like how the angles you might take, or when you see a brief like this, what you might do?
Well, to be honest, I never do this work, right, Ash? So I come up with the strategy or the brief, and I'm incredibly shit at tactics, and so I know my shitness. And what I do at this point is I leave the client, and the agencies come in and do all the hard work. So I'm going to treat the RMIT students as the agencies here and do nothing. I mean, my only tip is, we're looking for, again, long and short, and we're looking for, obviously, sport. I mean, there should be people who are into sport and already listen to podcasts. That's we don't want to turn people onto sport. We want to get people who are into sport to realize that, how the Howie Games is available, and, it's the best in the country.
Cool. Perfect. Well, that's all, Mark. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, ladies. Have a lovely evening, and good luck with the rest of the show.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Oh man, I feel like I've just received so much
wisdom.
Yeah, so much wisdom. I barely knew anything about strategy, and I actually feel like I've learned a fair bit.
It's good also to think about for the second years and the third years with the brief, to be doing some long and short with this quick brief. Think about how you can promote the brand itself, and then how the product of each episode.
It's a little outside the norm as well,
Yeah, I suppose a lot of us haven't seen a brief too similar to this, so it'll be
really
cute.
Have a crack.
Cool.
I'm pretty excited for our next segment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw the trailer last week, and I'm excited to see.
Are we ready to go with
what's on the cards?
Shall we?
Also, introducing you all to our little friend here on the desk.
Yeah, if you're wondering what's going on. We felt like the desk was a little bit empty last week.
Yeah, we did. We are debating on a name.
Yeah.
We'll fill you in.
We've got some name options on our throws. But yeah, we're just trying to fill out the desk.
Yeah, filling out the desk. Please send in your 2000s items so it's not so barren. That would be lovely.
All right.
All right. Well, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Without further ado, we're going to get into a Steve Irwin inspired segment we like to call Ads Gone Wild. Brace yourself.
Humans are the most intelligent hunters in the animal kingdom. We're not the strongest or the fastest, but we're the smartest. Believe it or not, when you, me, or even your Uncle Dazza go out of our homes and into the wild, our natural hunting instincts switch on. In fact, when we're out and about, we are 2.5 more times more aware of our surroundings. How wild! G'day, adventurer. I'm Rusty, an out-of-home ad hunter. I am passionate and enthusiastic about out-of-home ads. It is my job to share this love with you, the audience, to come with me and explore the wonderful ads that the wild has to offer. Today, I'm going to show you a strange thing that has popped up in Sydney's Bondi Beach to bring in the excitement and celebrate the release of Stranger Things 4 on Netflix.
Let's do it.
But I have this terrible feeling. It might not work out for us this time.
A terrifying and massive rift has torn open to the upside down, down under. This would surely give Bondi mums a scare on their morning jog. It is massive. It sits at 25 metres long and 21 metres wide and makes all sorts of creepy sounds. And to bring the experience to life even further, containment officers in yellow hazmat suits were seen conducting experiments on it. Crikey. With good old Aussie humour, the stunt also collaborated with our beloved Bondi Rescue.
Chaos in Bondi, with an interdimensional portal opening up on the iconic beach. Luckily, the Bondi Rescue team are quick to respond.
Just get him out of here. Mate, this guy looks terrible.
I think he's been attacked by Demogorgon, boys. Come on, he's going to stop breathing.
Never seen something like this before.
Hey, Hoppo, you're going to want to come and see this, mate. Something's going on.
When Jethro first mentioned a portal to another dimension, I thought you just meant getting the bus back to Bondi Junction. But this is something else altogether.
With decades of experience on the beach, head lifeguard Hoppo assesses the scene.
So, boys, apparently it's a rift, which is a portal to the down under.
You mean the upside down, Hop?
That's what I said.
Wow. What's the upside down?
It's an alternate universe full of extremely dangerous creatures.
Like stingrays, blue bottles, octopus?
Much worse.
I don't know what's in there. I don't know if they got 3 heads, 4 heads, if they're from Tasmania or what, but all I know is that that's dangerous and we're just going to have to keep beachgoers away from it.
With the rift open, the team are now on high alert.
It also played a part in a much larger campaign for the Season 4 launch, where landmarks across 14 other countries would be taken over in a similar fashion. Overall, I would give this wild ad 9 out of 10 crocodiles. This was all brilliantly executed by a New South Wales ad agency named Axello, who specialise in experiential design. Let me tell you, these lot are a bunch of creative kookaburras. You may have seen another one of their wild stunts for Netflix's Squid Games on Halloween last year. This featured a 4.5 metre high, fully animatronic installation of the show's iconic murder doll. They love to go big. You can just tell how much passion Axello has for bringing these projects to life. If this wild work interests you, be sure to check out their website, axello.com, or even better, give them a follow on LinkedIn. If you see any ads out there in the wild, be sure to put them on our Hungry Talk socials. Now get off your bum and get ad hunting.
We love it. We hope you enjoyed the first episode of Ads Gone Wild. Stay tuned for next week's episode.
Gorgeous. Well, next up, we're going to slide into the DMs with Dim and Maddie, where they check in with the 2021 graduate.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of DMs with Dim and Maddie. I'm Dim.
And I'm Maddie, and we're joining you today on Zoom because I have just got the spicy cough. My bad luck just is really coming out this week. And today we're here to talk with Gideon Goldberg. Hi, Gideon. Before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Gid. I graduated from RMIT Advertising last year, so 2021. I'm currently a graduate at TVWA Melbourne in the strategy department, and yeah, that's I guess my life.
Awesome. Right, so this week we've decided to take inspiration from Hinge to gather our small talk questions. So firstly, Gid, a social cause that you care about is?
What's it called? I guess probably environment sustainability. I'm vegan, so whatever encompasses all of that, like plastic, animals, protesting, the government, sure, everything.
Sweet.
Everything regarding that. Probably, yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Let's go. It's convincing.
On to our next question. When you're out for dinner, what would be one thing that you would order for the table?
I'm a bit of like a mum of the group, so I'll be like the one getting everyone the waters, or for some reason I'll con myself, I'll convince myself to buy around for everyone, so it's whatever they want, surprisingly, which is a bad move.
Very generous. Your most irrational fear is?
This one actually got me flashbacking. I was going to say heights, but I feel like that's somewhat rational. But when I was like in primary school, I had a fear of club penguins, like the game. Yeah, like you know when there's like dark crevices in like places, like I was scared that a real life club penguin would come out and kidnap me. And that is rational. Now I think I only have rational fears.
Yeah.
Backed up.
So finally, with these little casual questions, what is a fact about you that surprises people?
I don't know. I feel like most people could ask me a question. The one thing that like last night, someone was surprised that I was left-handed, which was just an absurd, I guess. So if that counts, I'm left-handed. Whatever that means.
Yeah, sick. Me too.
Oh.
The lefty club.
Yeah.
So now we'll get into some of the deeper ad-related questions. So now that you've finished uni, where are you at now, and how is that transition from being a student into like working in the industry?
So I'm a graduate, like I do like the Fresh Fry program, TVWA Melbourne, which is pretty much, it's a 12-month program, and you spend approximately 2.5 months in every department. Strategy, PR, production, creative, and then business management. And so kind of coming from uni, I was sure what I wanted to do. I was like a creative, but I kind of just slapped the title art director on my like pitch night page, kind of thing, because I was like, yeah, that's something that's a role. So kind of leaving uni, I wasn't too sure I wanted to do, and then went into like a 5 internship kind of thing. So kind of doing that 9 to 5. But when kind of applying for the grad program and then getting in, like there was just kind of the biggest difference is the workload, because like internship in uni, it's like you kind of get one thing for 3 months and then you go to the next thing, that's for 3 months kind of thing. But here it's like week after week, there's like deadlines and something new and kind of having to like pick up with that pace.
Why advertising? What's your favorite thing about it? And how did you get into it in the first place?
Yeah, this one's a bit multi-level because there's like different in life. So like when I was like a kid, me and my sister used to like play guess the ad game. So like we would like watch in like an ad in like the breaks, and then we would like shout out whatever brand we thought it was, and then when it came to the end, point. You get a point based on that, and then we had in year 10 like you had to like do like an internship somewhere or something, and I watched like a Robin Williams TV show, and he was like head of an ad agency, and he was a bit crazy, and I was like, yeah, I could do that. Not run it, but like it just seemed fun, so I did an internship, and then by the time to like figuring out what I wanted to do at the end of year 12, my sister and my uncle had already done the advertising course as well, so it just kind of was like everything kind of just came together, and then had fun doing it.
Wow.
And here we are.
Throughout uni, what was your favorite class?
I liked a lot of it for uni. Like I like the guitar. I think for I mean third year, I think I don't think there was a single subject I didn't enjoy, kind of thing. When it came to the advertising, what was first semester where you D&AD and future line stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was, I had a lot of fun in that subject. Then also capstone was great because you kind of got to decide what you wanted to do, which was like a cool like liberty and freedom that I was like, yeah, that seems like fun. But not advertising at the end of 2020 lockdown, second semester, I was like, I cannot do another like 2-word essay subject as an elective. So I did DJs, digital rhythms and dance cultures.
Oh, sick.
So it's pretty much you just like but it was like 2-hour shoots of like people being like, this is some fun techno, and then the teacher like DJs things up, and then that's have like a DJ like a room with just like all the equipment, and it's like got like 10 different club setups in there and stuff. So for like your final performance, you just have to like sit, and the person just has to perform a DJ set.
Jeez.
I know you guys have done your electives, but second years do DJing.
Lastly, if you could give your second year self one word of advice, what would it be?
Yeah, this is something that I luckily like lived by and definitely still do. It's just have fun with it. Like the course is kind of what you make of it. Like everything's kind of broad. So if you kind of come in with an open mindset and don't kind of put like a boundary on what you think is possible, then like do it. It also just makes the time more fun. Make friends. Friends are important. Friends are fun at uni.
With that, we'll conclude the episode of DMs with Dim and Maddie. Thank you, Gid, for joining us.
Good guys. I hope that was helpful.
Such a good segment with Dim and Maddie. It's so good to see a vegan king thriving in the industry.
Next up, we're going to be checking in with Sally Brambill, where they look at the challenges of change. But before we rush in, just a reminder that the Kahoot segment is up next. So get your phones ready and open up the app or head to the Kahoot website, www.kahoot.it to join. Ooh, that worked. Cool.
So, awesome.
Let's check in with Sally.
Sally Brown, Sally phone bill. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Two Ferns. I'm your host, Amelia Lucky, and with me today is Sally Brownbill. And today we're talking about how to deal with change. You talk in your book about overcoming the challenges of change. What if you don't need to change? What if it's everyone else that needs to change?
Well, that's a really interesting question. Well, I think, I've always gone through this philosophy in life that you can't change others, but you can change your attitude to others, right? Yeah. So if everybody else is changing and you're not wanting to change, you just have to roll with it. Change is inevitable in anything that we do, and sometimes it can be really scary, sometimes it's really positive, sometimes it's not positive, but it's inevitable. So you've just got to roll with it.
Right.
And a little bit like this, obviously we're running out of time?
Or,
okay.
Yeah, so we'll be quick.
Sorry.
I've got a very important interview coming up next.
Have you? Oh.
Yeah, so it's crucial that we get through
more
this
important than this one, obviously.
Well, I'd never say that.
Yeah.
I would never say that.
It sounds like you meant it though.
But,
it's okay.
I can't change that.
Yeah.
What changes have you had to adjust to? And how did this impact your creative and consulting journey?
Well, interviews like this, I feel like I have to sort of be on my feet a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit unusual, but I think I'm doing okay. Not sure. All I ever wanted to be was a photographer. And when it dawned on me that that's not what I was going to be, I knew that I still wanted to be in the creative industry, but how was I going to make that a career? And I think I've always taken up opportunities. I've always been really good at speaking to people, asking advice. Yeah, actually I have.
Yeah, right.
When they don't cut me off mostly.
No, I get it.
Okay, change made me stop and really think and listen with my heart and my gut about what I wanted to do. Yeah. And you go to a crossroad and you say, I can either go down that path or I can take up that opportunity. And I've always done that and I'll continue to do it. And I think that's a really exciting thing about this industry.
Yeah, I second that. Your book says there's only one you. Do you know if there's a way I can change that?
For yourself or for me?
Well, I was thinking me, but
You don't want to change that. The thing is that when you are going for jobs in the creative industry, you want to be as individual as possible. And the only difference between you and somebody else going for a job interview, if you've done the same courses and the same projects, is you. And it's how you see things, it's how you present yourself. There's this thing that we talk about all the time, and it's about cultural fit. And cultural fit is not just for potential employers, it's for the people going for the jobs as well. And, you have to be interviewing the people that are interviewing you. You have to be sitting there going, am I going to fit in with this as well? So you are the point of difference in every situation throughout your entire career. And so it's really important to know who you are and feel really comfortable in your own skin and to be able to talk about your work really well.
Okay. That's great. Thanks, Sally. So, did you see what it said on my tracksuit?
Unfortunately, I didn't, because you kind of quite rudely walked in and bent over in front of me, but with your ass facing the other direction. So, yeah, right, juicy, there it is. Nope,
so,
I hadn't seen that until then.
Is it true?
That you're juicy?
Yeah.
Is that a trick question?
Well, it depends on what the answer is.
What a juicy segment. I love it. Some more wise words of Sally. To wrap up the show, we've put together a Kahoot.
This week's theme is advertising characters. You know the drill. We'll display an image and you guess what brand the characters belong to. Click the coloured box on your screen that matches the answer and make sure you get in quick. This one is super easy, so it's going to be a game of speed. So, game pin 7160704 should be up on the screen
We've already got a couple in. We've got advertising max as opposed to regular max.
Did we have advertising max last week?
Possibly.
I remember that. Steffo.
Steffo's in there.
Is that my
Liam
dad?
Baker.
Is that Richmond football player Liam Baker? I sure hope so.
Bobby Brown. Millie. Where are
Brown.
you? Millie Bobby Brown, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Yeet. I feel like Yeet should have been left in 2017, personally.
Yeah, it's where we've, the theme is 2000s, so Yeet is way after the
It's a
2000s,
little
so
bit, it's a bit ahead. Patience.
We need some of that. Cool. We'll give you a few more seconds to join, then we might get rolling. But in the meantime, while you're waiting, think about some of your favourite advertising characters. They might pop up. You never know.
You never can tell when they'll pop up and surprise you.
This is again, it's an easy one this week. So
your mum.
Yeah.
I'm so glad my mum's tuned in. Fantastic.
Hey Tara, if that's you. 60 seconds. All right,
Okay.
You've got 60 seconds to get your name in and compete for some limited edition Hungry Talk stickers. They're printed.
They're pretty cool.
They're in front of me.
Are quite cool.
They are
They're
quite
a
cool.
good little laptop.
I do need a sticker
edition.
A sticker for your laptop.
Proto-man-ager.
Yep.
I wish I understood.
I feel like, you know, when young kids like have all these like cool things and the adults don't get it.
Yeah,
I feel like that's us right now.
We're like
there's all these hip terms we don't get.
Trying to keep up with the cool kids.
All right.
We just can't do it.
Yeah. Anyway, stickers up for grabs, so keep that in mind.
They're quite cool.
Yeah.
You haven't seen them yet, but
you'll
they
see
are
them
cool.
next. But I think we'll get going. So should we give you a countdown? 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, let's
1.
begin.
All right, advertising characters.
3, 2, 1.
Rhonda and Kahoot, a bit of a classic. Let's see if you guys remember where they're from. Again, this is a game of speed, so
get in quick.
It's about getting in quick.
Good old Rhonda and Kahoot, the favourites.
Oh, they're being
the
fast.
answers are getting in there. Yep.
Good on you guys.
Is that everyone in? No, not quite.
And let's see. Yep.
Oh, there's a couple of you, but everyone.
Who voted Qantas? Someone's got to leave.
You're banned.
Go Helen.
Helen.
Yeah.
You're in. Is that Helen? The Helen that's in the media room? Is there a Helen in the media room?
There could be.
Who knows? I'm on to you this week, media team. Louis. What a cutie. He's adapted over the years. He didn't used to look this cute.
Yeah, he used to be a cartoon.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
The iPod keeps falling. Yeah, now he's cute little animation.
He's very purple.
Purple, like our tablecloth.
I've never seen a purple fly, actually.
Yeah. What colour are they? Black? Okay. Cadbury.
Someone's gone Cadbury. The rest of you have gone more purple. Yeah, it's the purple.
It's
the purple threw them off.
Yeah. Okay.
Helen's still leading.
Staying strong.
Fantastic.
Question 3. Shall we?
Not happy, Jan.
Anna, only realised that this is from an ad not long ago.
Yeah, I just thought it was like an Australian saying. Like, you're terrible, Muriel. I thought that was from like a movie. Anyway,
We're learning new things every day. Sometimes you get 3 years into an ad degree and you realise the really famous saying is from an ad.
I thought it was a movie.
All right, you better all get this. Oh, Eclipse.
Someone's got Eclipse. Who put Eclipse?
What even is Eclipse? Like Eclipse Mint?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
James is the highest climber. Shout out to James.
5 places. Killing it.
Ooh.
Yeah, this one's also
This
quite
one's
easy.
really hard.
We should all be getting this. There's lots of
Again, game of speed. Let's be quick with it, team.
Places to be. What a say.
Places to be.
Used to be drunk.
Oh Lord. Lord have mercy.
Yes, good job.
Oh, we tricked you a couple of you with the IONet.
That's all right.
Sorry, guys.
We'll forgive you. Ooh.
The proto-man-ager
dropping off.
is rising.
3 places.
But
Up 3 for
Layla is climbing. Layla's coming for you guys.
Watch out. Oh no, I'm not.
Ashley can say this. How do you say it, Asha?
Buena.
She was practicing last night. Buena los dos, girl.
Oh yeah, show off.
Let's who she belong to.
Where have we seen her before? Oh, good job.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty.
A couple people gone Taco Bell.
Yeah, because we're trying to get them in quick and they're just.
Yeah, they've just gone in.
The yellow, the Mexican kind of yellow vibes, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, proto manager. Yep.
Keep climbing. Awesome.
You're killing it. Halfway through.
Meat man. All right, so we have meat man.
Anna's really great photoshopping to get rid of the logo.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
I'm a big fan of Meat Man.
Meat Man.
Meat Man and I, we go way back.
The good old days.
Yeah.
All right.
I learned everything I know about meat from Meat Man.
His Don is good. That's classic 90s Don ad. Your
mum is the highest climber. My mum? You mean to say my mum is watching this Kahoot?
Come on. What's your mum's name again?
Sherry.
Come on,
Yeah.
Sherry. I love these ads. There's so many of them. It's such a good little series.
That's definitely Penny and Leonard and Sheldon. So I would go Big Bang Theory. Personally.
Just, Big Bang Theory is definitely ad related.
Yeah.
I really do love these ads. If you haven't seen them before, ad students, I think you should. Oh, no one knows these. I think everyone should go and look up.
That is a really good series.
I'm a Mac, and I'm a PC series, and
it's pretty funny.
Oh, gee, where have you come from, and who are you? Has an answer streak of 7.
Goodness gracious.
Goodness gracious me.
The love of the love of my life.
Anna loves this lady.
I am in love with her.
Again, Anna's photoshopping. I won't take credit for it.
I'm not an art director. I've never claimed to be an art director.
Anna can have all the credit for this.
But she's the love of my life, so everyone else can back off. Thanks. I love her.
She kind of bases her personality around this one.
Someone's got Maltesers.
A bit rogue, but it's fine. Making a comeback, Tint Professor. Great. Good on you.
Padman.
Here's the Padman. Okay, no singing. Who could it be?
Who could it be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I reckon.
Unless you don't know what they are, but I think we should all know that they're pads. It's a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah. No one's gone Gillette though, which is reassuring.
Well, Max did, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Silly man. So is Max
Silly
calling
Max.
you out. Silly Max. Dream Man. Oh yeah. This one's easy. We should all know this.
Yeah.
He was in last week's.
I think he featured.
Kahoot,
So if you think back,
if you think back to last week,
draw your minds back.
If you tune in each week, you're going to be rewarded with easier
with Dream Man.
Yeah.
With seeing Dream Man.
Dream Man. Who does he belong to? Lynx, Dulux, Old Spice, or Rexona? Yeah, good job. Dulux. Not quite. Liam Baker just hit an answer streak of 3. He's not even. He's better than just footy. He can do advertising too.
Yeet is now leading though. Yeet.
Oh no, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Yeet.
Okay, second last.
Dino Girl.
Does it have audio?
Question of the night.
If not, she said, "Don't chop the dinosaur, Daddy."
Yeah.
I don't know if that had audio or not.
Definitely Bunnings. I would say Bunnings.
Yeah, he chops it up.
Yeah, that's he got the knife from Bunnings. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good job everyone. We had some natural confectionery in the studio to keep us going all day. Gee, good. I'm glad Yeet's out of the way.
Yeah.
I hope Yeet doesn't make a comeback.
G. Who is G?
Who is G? Mr. G, party guy.
Party guy. Oh yeah.
Who's this one again? Oh yeah. Anna was sad that he might not have featured. I hope this has audio as well.
It's a good ad actually. It's one of my favourites. He's just a cool guy.
What a cool guy.
He's a party guy and he's a cool guy. So get your answers in.
All right. Yeah, Heineken. Anyway, that's it. Who won? Let's see. Number 3. Please don't be Yeet.
Yo-Yo Ma is coming in 3rd.
Oh,
Yeet
no.
comes in 2nd, and number 1 is G. Oh, my G.
My G. All right, G. Congrats on winning this week's Kahoot. DM the Hungry Talks Instagram.
DM our Instagram, and you can claim your prize of some stickers. Some stickers. They're really cool. They've got Guy Fieri on them. So
yeah,
we already know you want them.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll chop them up and I'll make them into a nice little bundle. We won't just give you a sheet.
Yeah,
G,
G, they're for you.
They're for you.
Stickers, G.
Claim your prize. Anyway, that's a wrap for our second episode of Hungry Talks. Remember to have a go at the quick briefs. For those of you who have to do them for part of your course requirements, you'll be able to find them on Canvas. John's announcement should be there. Alternatively, they'll be posted on our Instagram. Hungry Talks is going to be showcasing a Scamp Champ each week, as you saw Charlie's work earlier in the episode. So we'll showcase the top responses to the quick briefs. Then at the end of semester, in the final episode, we'll have top advertising gurus Sarah McGregor, Matt Stoddard and Daniel Pizzato judge a shortlist of these scamps. They will crown a winner and this student will be awarded an internship.
In the coming episodes, we will be featuring a segment showing agency tours that will be put together by local agencies pitching to you, the student, about why you would want to work for them. So the best agency will then be decided by the Hungry Talks team, and that agency will then be paired with the winner of our Scamp Champ competition, who will then be offered the opportunity to intern with them at the winning agency.
Yeah, again, so try and get your quick briefs done and send them over to either Anna or I. Our emails are below. Or alternatively, just DM the Hungry Talks Instagram with your submissions.
And again, reminder to send in your fan art. This could be the start of something great for all of you aspiring art directors. With such a massive platform, you never know who could see your work and want to hire you based on the masterpiece you send us.
Again, thanks to Ben, Steph and Amila for your beautiful fan art. That's all for tonight. Tune in next week for an even better episode.